Hey guys, so it's here bringing you another video. Now, welcome to the patch note video. Yes, I'm aware that this is late. As I said, if you've been watching all the content, I went on holiday. So I'm back. I got back on Saturday afternoon. Today's Monday. Yesterday, I was dead, and I am still not 100%. I think I've caught something, a little bug or something at the airport. I have taken a you-know-what test this morning, and it was negative so far. I'll probably take another one tomorrow just to completely play it safe. See, I'm not feeling 100%, but I'm back streaming. I'm actually live streaming this right now because I've not been live for a week, which feels very weird to me. But what I saw when I was gone was people saying, Huz, still do the patch note video. I'd still like to hear what you think. So I've decided I'm going to do it. Part of it is because I don't know what's happened this patch. So I get to go through the patch myself like I normally do. And if you guys want to chip in and anything, that's completely fine. So let's get into it. So this might be the start of Worlds. Okay, so welcome to patch 12.17, the penultimate patch before Worlds. So patch 12.18 is like the large big thing for Worlds. But this does mean we're going to start to see more things Worlds centric. So we'll see what the decisions are that they do. Usually certain champions always get buffed at this time, like Lee Sin, kind of more flashy champions usually because they're more fun to watch. But anyway, so very small. I can't make that bigger, unfortunately, for now, but we've got a big one. Nerfs to Ahri, Azir, Nami, Renekton again. Severe, Silas, Taric, Trundle, and Wukong. Buffs to Camille, Ezreal, Graves, KASSADIN, Misfortune, Nocturne, Rel, Set, and Twisted Fate. We're getting adjustments to Hecarim and Maokai. Interesting. We've got a new skin line, which has King Viego, which is an interesting one. And then we've got something Zenith Games, Blitzcrank, Jace, and Lee Sin. And then we're getting system changes to the stopwatch items. So stopwatch itself, Guardian Angel, Arm Guard, and Hourglass. Okay. And those were, yeah, they're already available. Obviously, this is late, so I'm getting used to that. Anyway, let's begin. So Ahri, base health decreased, charm duration decreased early. Ooh, really? Wait, where's the base health decrease? That just says charm. Huh? So unless they've taken it away since I've been gone. So the charm duration was 1.4 to 2. It's now 1.2 to 2. Dude, why? Like, I don't actually think Ahri even needs that nerf, but okay, that's gonna hurt quite a bit. Don't see where the base health one is. Oh, Arcanine just said it's not decreased, it's a typo. Okay, apparently. Here we go. Azir, a champion that always takes over things like Worlds or MSI, because he's obviously one of the high skill champions of League of Legends. So when you're talking about Worlds, the best teams in the world, he's that type of champion that can just take over. So W AP scaling decreased, cooldown increased early, E cooldown increased. Ooh, they are nerfs. So the W Arise, the damage is going down 5% AP scaling. I mean, you know, that's not the crazy, but it's going to hurt him a bit. And then the bigger thing to me is the 1 second cooldown at rank 1, and then it does eventually level out at rank 5, but until then, he's going to feel a bit oof. I will say, I'm completely fine with this. Why? A pattern that we've seen in League of Legends recently has had late game hyperscaling champions like Azir do completely fine in lane phase. They're not supposed to do fine in lane phase when they're hyperscaling late game. So that's what these nerfs are looking to do, is tone down Azir's late game because of how strong he is later. And yes, this is even a nerf for his late game too, because it's a bit of damage over the top, but still. His E cooldown also has gone up by 3 seconds at rank 1, and then a 1 second nerf at rank 5. So just complete Azir nerfs across the board. To me, this is a bit overkill, but the reason why they might be doing it is every single Worlds, and like Worlds is pretty much the only time that I pay a little bit attention to pro play. They always struggle with champions that take over Worlds, that have 100% pick or ban rate in Worlds. Riot don't want that because that's kind of boring. It's a bit stale to only see the same champions. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make it not even overly strong. They're trying to make him just meh, so then maybe he won't be pick or ban in Worlds. People probably still will play him because he's an insane playmaker, but yeah. Camille, passive shields increased, E damage increased. Oh god, they're buffing Camille. Passive was percent HP shielded, 17. It's now 20%. So just reminding how that works. When Camille is attacked by a target, whatever their higher stat, I believe, which is AP or AD, and I think it does go off the higher stat because it can change. If you're against a lane opponent, for example, you're playing against a Kennen in early game. Oh, she has to attack. Oh, apparently she has to attack. But whatever, regardless, if she's against a Kennen in the early game and hits a Kennen, but obviously Kennen starts Doran's Blade, she'll get the red AD shield. But later in the game, when Kennen's AP starts to going higher and higher, it will swap to the magic shield eventually. So that's getting a buff, which is, again, very good for lane phase, trading, and all that stuff. And then the E, hook shot, wall dive, damage of it is gone up by 20 in early game. Oh my god, what? 20 in early game and 15% bonus AD. Just reminding everybody that it wasn't too long ago that literally Camille was pickle ban, was pretty much the dominant top laner, and it looks like Riot want that to happen again. So Camille's going to be really strong because she's also one of those champions that a lot of the items go well with her. She can't really buy Blade the Ruined King, but she can buy Divine, she can buy More Mortius, she can buy Death's Dance, she can buy a lot of the strong items, and then combining with those buffs, that's pretty spicy. Ezreal, E cooldown decreased, which again is a pretty good tool actually for Ezreal. So Ezreal lost his place in pro play and solo queue recently, maybe due to his distaste for maps, so it's shifting him into a stronger place. The problem with Ezreal, and I think most people would mainly agree, is he's only really paired with one support, and that's Yuumi. And it's mainly not because he's amazing with Yuumi. He's fine with Yuumi, but it's more he can survive when Yuumi inevitably leaves him in lane phase. That literally is why Ezreal is kind of played. Is, hey, Yumi's going to jump on the jungle at level 4, level 5. Bye, Ezreal. See you later. I'm never jumping on you again. Ezreal has the mobility to not die 24/7. If you try to tower dive an Ezreal, he's a bit slippery. And yeah, so that is a buff to Ezreal, a 2-second cooldown buff to his E. That will be nice, but other than that, Ezreal is always one of those champions that isn't, unless he's in an OP state, which usually comes with item synergy. Ezreal has had a lot of good item synergy over the years. He isn't really played that much, unless you are just a hardcore Ezreal player. All right, next up, Graves. Again, a champion that does take over the meta from time to time. So Q cooldown decreased and R base damage increased. Okay, so they're just shifting the power a little bit. So the Q end of line cooldown was 12 to 8. It's now 13 to 7, so a 1-second nerf across the board. And then the R collateral damage, the base damage of it has gone up by 25 damage base. That's not too bad. And Andane TR, thank you so much too for the 41 months of Prime. And hey, how's it going, R Blindy Boom? Hecarim, so again, another champion. And I will say just to the Graves, he still will be played. He's still probably going to be a Worlds champion. They're just slowing down his clear a little bit. But he's gaining strength from other places, so he probably still will be fine. Hecarim is a champion that, again, Riot seem they can't quite get right. He, again, is either pickle ban or not really played. And that is just due to the nature of the champion. What is the nature of the champion? He's a snowballing champ. If he goes back first base, gets a Sheen, and then can basically one-shot somebody at level 4, level 5, and he manages to do that, and he gets a kill or two in that kind of window, and then he gets his early mythic item, and then just goes from there, it's really hard to stop him, especially if you combine him with something like a Yuumi. So this is going to be interesting. I presume we're getting nerfs or something, but it's an adjustment, so we'll see how this goes. Base armor's gone down by 3. HP growth has gone down by 5. And then Q, so his spammable ability, damage was 60 to 180 with a 90% bonus AD. It's now 60 to 160. Okay, with a 95% bonus AD. So a little bit of nerf straight away, but then a buff later on potentially. And then damage per stack was 2%. It's now, whoa, it's now 4%. And then plus 6% of bonus aid per 100. Whoa, that's a buff. Q cooldown per stack is going down. Maximum number of stacks is going up. Stack fall off all at duration end. 1 stack per second. Oh my, what? And mana cost is flattening to 30. That's a huge buff for Q. What? Maybe right at the beginning of the game, it won't be great, but dude, after your first okay item, that is a buff for Hecarim in a number of ways. More damage. The stacking, you get one more stack. What are they? What? Dude, that is going to be really strong. Yeah, Hecarim is going to be played in the jungle unless they've done any, like, unless everything else is nerfed. Like, that's nuts. W. So was a 14 flat. It's now 16 to 14. So it does level out eventually. But then they get a new thing. Is Hecarim gains armor and magic resist. What? What the fuck? Okay. He's just gaining resistances flat for having W on cooldown, which again is making you heal. So you're gaining resistances, then you also heal from your W. What on earth? Okay. That's another buff eventually, especially with the CD flattening. E, there has to be a nerf somewhere. Min damage for your E. So if you just press E and jump on somebody straight away, it used to do 30 to 90. It's now doing 30 to 90, but a nerf, 5% bonus AD nerf. So that's where he's gaining that bonus AD back here. He's losing it here. And then the max damage, though, he's losing out here too. So it's 60 to 180. It's still 60, 180, but it used to do 110 bonus AD. It's now 100, so he's losing that. Minimum knockback is going down, so less of a knockback. Maximum knockback is going down, so less of a knockback. And the cooldown is flattened to 18 at all ranks, which is a nerf to, it's the rank 3 cooldown. So it's a nerf to rank 4 or 5 of your E's cooldown of what it used to be. Okay, so that is a nerf to his E. So that's a bit of adjustment. And then the R, fear duration was 0.75 to 2 seconds based on distance traveled. So 0.75 to 1.5. Okay, so what they've done is they've buffed Q and W. Do remind that he's losing armor as well, flat and HP. But he's buffed that, nerfed that, nerfed that. Ooh, I don't know. But yeah, like that's what I was going to say. These changes should lead to more damage-orientated Hecarim builds. Why? Because look at the bonus that you get from bonus AD. It used to be plus 3% per 100 bonus AD. It's now 6% per bonus AD. They've doubled the value he gets from AD. So honestly, AD Hecarim is going to be pretty spicy. I don't know what the build would you want to do, though. Would you want to go Divine? Death's Dance? I don't know, like, we'll see. But yeah, if you're just tuning into Twitch chat, how's it going, everybody? I'll talk about the holiday a little bit after we do the patch notes. I've already spoken a little bit about it, but I'll speak about it again a bit more after. Kassa win. Q cooldown decreased, mana cost decreased. So again, the problem with this champion is he's not supposed to win lane phase. I remember seeing people like, he's supposed to win lane phase against mages. Not really, no. He's not supposed to win against mages in lane phase. He's supposed to do okay against mages in lane phase and eventually anti-mage them when he hits like level 11 plus. But he wins lane phase now. And hell, he even wins lane phase against a lot of AD champions. So they're buffing him, which is really weird. So the Q cooldown is 11 to 9. It's now 10 to 8. So that's a buff by 1 second per rank. And mana cost is also, it's cheaper by 10 mana per rank. They want KASSADIN for Worlds. Like that is the only answer that gives, is they want this champion for Worlds. He could be just a permaban because he's not hard to play. I think most of us would agree. He wins lane, and well, if you're a good KASSADIN, you win lane against most things now, like before this buff. If you're an okay KASSADIN, you'd mainly go neutral into everything, including champions that you're supposed to be bad against, like Talon or Zed. He does fine. He can itemize really effectively. It doesn't hurt KASSADIN to buy a Frozen Heart as a second item, for example. So that's kind of nuts that he's getting that buff. Maokai. So again, the tree hasn't seen much play for a while. This is a champion to me that does feel quite his age. And yes, he did get a mini rework not too long ago, but he's so slow. And the only way that they brung Maokai back a while ago was making his saplings of crazy AP ratio, and then you had the sapling AP Maokai that was really annoying and kind of anti-fun, but that's the only way he kind of come back. So what are they doing? Passive. Getting hit by a large jungle monster now reduces Sap of Magic's cooldown by 1.5 seconds per attack received, which is the heal. Every so often his hand goes glowy and then he heals back an amount. So he's gaining less healing flat, but more max health healing. And obviously he can trigger it more when he's in the jungle. So it kind of levels out. Bad if you're technically lane Maokai, but a buff if you're jungle Maokai for sure. Q damage was 70 to 230 plus 40% AP. It's now 65 to 245 plus 40%. So damage flat nerfs, but it is now gaining two new things. Q now deals % maximum health damage. Okay, so 2 to 3%. That's not bad for a lowish cooldown ability. And then branching out, Q now deals 40 to 120 bonus damage to monsters. Okay, they're really wanting Maokai back in the jungle, huh? Interesting. Oh, interesting. Wow, okay. So I imagine there was going to be some very unhappy Maokai players about this. So as I mentioned earlier, just, you know, a couple minutes, the way that you had to play Maokai in recent time was build AP and throw your saplings, and they used to do AP and burn damage % health. They're removing that. They are removing his maximum % health damage from sapling, and obviously, yes, he's gained it in his Q, but that is fundamentally different. So base damage, yeah, it's going to go up because he's losing out on the AP. The maximum % health. So it used to do 20 to 120 base, then +7 to +8 of target maximum health. That's gone. And what it is now is 55 to 155 base, so it's a buff, but then plus 42.5% AP. So you've got 100 AP. I believe this is how it works. You've got 100 ability power flat. Your E is going to do 42.5% extra damage because you've got 100 AP, so, you know, and then plus 6% bonus HP. Okay. Alio Chimer, 40 months of Prime, says, good morning, Huz. Hope the holiday was great. I missed the memo that you were leaving, as I'm not around as much. Got a bit worried with your health issues. Glad to see you're back. Hope you're doing well. Have a nice day. Thank you so much, dude. Yeah, my health is still a bit up and down. I'm actually a little bit sick, but I think that's just from the traveling. But no, I'm not too bad. I do actually have a doctor's appointment tomorrow to talk about my more serious health issues of the scan and everything that I had. But that's tomorrow. But yeah. New thing is Minions Activist. Minions no longer take empowered brush damage from saplings, so he doesn't even have that thing for especially support Maokai. Mana cost is going down. Slow amount is going up. And then new, a little sappy. Used to do brush empowered sapling damage, now slow. It's now 45% plus 2% AP and then 6% per 1,000 bonus HP. Of what? Slow? I presume this is a slow. Hey, Nichiko! I presume it's still slowing, but it's not 100%. Yeah, it has to be. So it's a 45% slow, but then you get an extra 2% slow per 100 ability power that you've got, plus 6% extra slow per bonus 1,000 bonus HP you have. So you can probably, in late game Maokai with a bit of ability power, like a demonic, but also buying bonus health with, you know, demonic and warmogs and stuff like that, that slow would probably be able to get to like 55, 60% plus. So it's going to be a really annoying slow still. So there's that. And his ultimate missile initial speed is going up. This is good because, again, it's so easy to dodge Maokai ult. Missile maximum speed is going up. Missile acceleration is getting faster quicker. And then Maokai gains 40, 50, 60% bonus movement speed that decays over 2 seconds upon hitting. Oh, wow, that's good. So he throws his roots and they're faster now. And if it hits an opponent, he then gains a bonus movement speed towards that opponent so he can then W them and get on top of them. That's actually quite nice. I like that. Okay, Misfortune. Q base damage increased late, cast time adjusted, W mana cost decreased, attack speed bonus increased, E cooldown increased, base damage decreased, AP scaling increased, and scales now with AP. Jesus Christ, man, what the hell? So double up damage is going up later in the game, and it has a matches basic attack time. Oh, okay. So wait, matches basic attack time would be... I don't know if that's a buff. It might be, technically. W strut, mana cost is going down. Attack speed is going up for late. Well, actually up from even early. And then his E Cooldown is going up. Ooh. So it's still 18 seconds, but then from rank 2 onwards, it's going up. And then eventually it's a 4-second nerf at rank 5. And then the full damage of it is doing less by base, but is gaining more ability power scaling. Oh, God. And then the slow is also gaining... Or it's flattened to 50%, but then gaining 4% per 100. They're trying to make Misfortune AP support for Worlds, huh? Oh, wait, is it already got hotfixed? Again, the only problem with these patch notes, I don't know if we have the hotfixes that have already been hotfixed. Obviously, I'm coming 5 days late. So her W got reverted. Okay, so apparently that got reverted. Okay, cool. Cool. All right. Hey, Dark and Synergy. Nami. Oh! Ouch! Oh! That's... Oh! Wow, okay. Electrocute interaction removed. That literally is basically the sole reason the Lucian Nami lane was so powerful in the early game, was the early Lucian damage, which is good, and then the EW proc, the E bonus damage that Nami gave, and then the W damage on top of the Lucian that goes in, all of that combined with the electrocute is why it was so good. That literally is going to make that combo never played again. Like, they're just not going to play that. That was what made it good. It was the power of the electrocute proc that gave the early advantage. So that's now gone. So, ouch. That kind of sucks. Nocturne, base attack speed increased and passive cooldown decreased. Attack speed ratio is going up by a bit, and the passive is going down by 1 second. I mean, I don't really see Nocturne being fully in it, if I'm honest, but he's a little bit of a buff. That's the one that we've spoken about, that like if you're already a Nocturne player, then yeah. Bossy just says it counts as the Nami thing, it counts as a single spell, but just a single spell. So you know, the W or the E will still count towards electrocute, but you just don't get the double proc and all that stuff. Rel, this champion exists. Honestly, again, whatever they do this champion, I just don't see her being ever meta. They either need to give her a bit of a rework, but I know this sounds stupid, but the way that you need to make Rel and the way that you have to make this champion meta, give her damage. It's the only way that this champion's going to be meta, because of the same role, a Leona, a Nautilus, an engaged tank support, they deal well over double damage that a Rel does. And why would you just not play them? Damage is so important nowadays that's why Rel is ultimately kind of forgotten. Her engage is actually pretty strong. Her ultimate, I would say, is lackluster. That needs to be looked at, but yeah. So her W, move speed while dismounted was 250. It's now 280, so you don't feel like, you know, you've pooped your pants and you're kind of trying to make your way to the bathroom. You're really slow, so she'll be waddling a little bit quicker. And then her E is going flattened, I don't know if I like that, to 13 seconds. So it was 18 seconds rank 1. Her E arguably is one of her most powerful things. 18 seconds rank 1, 11 seconds rank 5. It's now flattened to 13. So it is technically a nerf to rank 4, 5, which is her late game. So I'm not sure about that, but we'll see. This poor crocodile, man. Q, base damage decreased. AD scaling increased, though. Oh, but you max you, maybe. Yeah, I guess you can max. Yeah, you just wouldn't max your E, I guess. You'd leave it as long as you can. Yeah, that's probably true. Damage for the Croc was 65 to 205 base. It's now 60 to 180, but he's gaining 20% bonus AD. They're giving the Croc scaling, though. That's actually not terrible. That's a little damage nerf of base, which, yeah, technically for an early game champion is going to hurt, but scaling is what this champion needs. So that isn't too bad, I would say. And then the Furious damage, so when he's empowered with it, is also being nerfed by base, but then he's getting 20% more bonus AD. That's not too bad. Again, he's still not going to be in the likes of Jax, obviously, but like that is going to be better for a Renekton, I think, overall for late game. Yes, it's bad for Renekton for his lane phase, but basically, yeah, they don't want Renekton to do what we've seen a lot, is Blade of the Ruined King and then Sunfire on Renekton. That's not what Renekton's for. He's there to build full AD, be crazy damage orientated, and that's kind of what they're trying to make this happen. So that's cool. W by set ratio increased and E slow increased. Yeah, this champion, I obviously played it recently, felt so lackluster. We didn't do terribly in that game. We did lose the match, but that was the match that I think I did okay in top lane, but it just felt so lackluster compared to meta tops. He's just been nerfed so much, basically, from when he came out. AD ratio was 20% per bonus 100 AD. It's now 25%, so more scaling. And then his E is a 70% slow instead of a 50. I mean, that's pretty good, you know, especially the slow that then when you build Blade the Ruined King, you can get yourself more auto attacks. You know, that's not terrible. Severe. AD growth decreased. W bounce AD ratio decreased also. So her AD growth is going down by 0.2, and her AD ratio of her W ricochet was 30 to 50% total AD. It's now 25 to 45, 5% nerf. I mean, yeah, I think that's fine. It's not in crazy nerfs. But, you know, that champion since her rework has kind of taken over, so I'm kind of okay with that. Silas, base health decreased, Q cooldown increased. It's hilarious to me that Silas is getting nerfed and KASSADIN got buffed, by the way, because I do put those champions in relatively the same category, and one's getting nerfed and one's getting buffed. So base health is going down by 20, and her Q and Silas's Q is going up by 1 second cooldown per rank. That's kind of what I expected KASSADIN to get, not buffs, so that's kind of weird. Taric, recent popularity of this champion is now already being calmed down, so base magic resist is going down by 4, and his E cooldown is going up by 1. I mean, I think he still might be played a little bit, but we'll see. Trundle, again, was taking over recent meta. If this isn't too crazy, he might still be okay. Cooldown, 15 to 11. It's now 18 to 14, so that is a pretty significant nerf. But yeah, that was basically people were maxing W on Trundle early, with then combining like a Blade of the Ruined King with a champion. So much attack speed, low cooldown, always having it, and you just couldn't really fight him. So they're calming that down, so you probably won't do the max W build anymore. You'll just go back to maxing Q, but he'll still be strong. It's still going to be nice. Twisted Fate. I played this champion recently. It actually felt good, and that was pre-buff. So if this is a good buff, then yeah, it might actually be pretty decent. And I would say he is a Worlds champion. Twisted Fate is a playmaking champion that certain mid laners are good at, and certain teams will use to try and build a global lead. So look out for Twisted Fate in Worlds. AP ratio of his Q is going up by 10, so that's great for wave clearing, good for poke. And the W mana cost is also going down. Wow, that's big. 10 mana cost early and up to 30 mana cheaper at rank 5. That's really nice. Obviously, Twisted Fate, you max Q over anything, but you know, that's actually really good. So that's actually quite nice. Is this Worlds patch? This is the patch before Worlds patch, but a lot of this stuff obviously is Worlds focused. Wukong, base attack speed decreased, base movement speed decreased, nerfs across the board for Wukong, not surprised, very strong champion, has been for a while. Items. So, stopwatch. Okay, so they're just increasing the cost to buy it. It's no longer 650, it's 750, but perfect timing will still only contribute 250 gold towards a stopwatch item, but you can still obviously use that rune. Total cost, combined cost, obviously, for Guardian's Angel is now 150 instead of... Basically, they've just made it 100 to 200 gold more expensive. So, yeah, that is quite... I presume that's a typo. Attack damage has gone up from 40 to 45 gold. I presume it's just gone up to 45 attack damage. So, yes, it's more expensive, but you are getting a little bit more AD for that price. They're just trying to delay Guardian's Angel a little bit, because I think some champions have been buying it a little bit early. And then Seekers. Oh, cool. So Seekers is actually just gaining more ability power. So again, if you're playing a mage that is vulnerable to get killed by AD champions early, which is a lot of them, having that bonus ability power, well, buying a Seekers never felt great because you're sacrificing early strength for a bit of survivability. But now that you're getting a little bit more AP strength, that's not going to feel as bad. I do like that. And then the stopwatch, Zonya, 400 gold more expensive, but you are gaining 15 more ability power and 5% more ability haste. That's actually not too bad. Honestly, I'm actually kind of okay with that. Again, most games you have to buy Zonya. It's kind of one of those like tax items that you just have to buy it to survive as a mage nowadays because the damage is still very high. But now that you're still having to buy it, yes, it's more expensive, but you still need to get that Zonya for the invulnerability. Well, you're gaining a bit more ability power. You're gaining a little bit more ability haste. At least that feels better. So I don't think that's too bad. ARAM stuff, ultimate spellbook stuff, behavioral systems. Over the last 8 months since we released our new feeding detection model, we have gained the confidence that allows us to make significant adjustments what we detect as intentional feeding. Hassan, thank you so much, dude, for the 17 months tier 1. Appreciate it, man. So wait, what we detect as intentional feeding, we expect an increase in detections and punishments of over 2 times. Reminder that punishments for intentional feeding are a 14-day ban for your first transgression and a permanent ban for the second. So that's harsher. That's not normally the 1 day, 3 day, 7 day, 14-day, then perma. That's just 2 things for just inting. Yeah, but it is worth knowing because like this sounds great. Also, Karim, thank you so much for the 26 months with Prime. Over 2 times the punishments that are going to be happening. I would wager before this update or whatever, the amount of automated detection of inting was probably very low. So even a double of detections automatically is still probably quite low. It is worth knowing that. Chat restrictions will be visible on lobby screen for yourself and any party members, as well as individual profile pages. And honor restrictions applied to your account will be visible on your profile page with a lock icon. Oh wait, I don't think you can look at other people's stuff. I think you can see it on your own, I think, but I might be wrong because that would be a bit funny. But anyway, competitive. Summoner's Rift rank Q matchmaking will now focus more on players' MMR and less on their visible rank. Oh, interesting. That's actually quite good. Huh. Is that good? Yeah, no, that's good. That should give you closer games to the rank that you're actually in. But yeah. Noxus Cup Clash will be trying to obviously play at least one of those days. Challenges, bug fixes, and that is it. So there we go, everybody. Interesting patch note. Nothing, well, there's only one thing that I'm like honestly a bit shocked about, and that is that he doesn't need a buff, shouldn't get a buff. It's ridiculous that he's getting a buff, and he's getting a buff. So that is the only true thing to me that, like, what is Riot doing? Let me just quickly check. So KASSADIN's win rate of right now is 50.6. Last patch, 12.16. KASSADIN's overall win rate, which again, Riot unfortunately goes off that nowadays, was 49.94%. 50% win rate. The champion had a 50% win rate, and he's getting a buff. He has an 8.1% ban rate still. His ban rate has already climbed to 9.2. What is Riot doing, man? I genuinely sometimes don't really know why they make the decisions that they make. It's a bit bizarre, but that's the only one right now that I'm a bit like, they shouldn't have done that. But anyway, that's going to be it. Hopefully you guys still enjoyed the late patch notes. I did see people ask for it, so I thought I'd do it because now I'm also up to date myself. If you guys did enjoy it, please do throw a like on the video, throw a comment, throw a subscribe. What I'll most likely do with this video, by the way, is I'll probably slot this video in as tonight's second video, just so it's, you know, less out of date. If I waited till tomorrow, it's 1 day out of date even more. So I'll slot it in tonight as the second video. So yeah, anyway, that's gonna be it. If you guys did enjoy, throw a like on it, throw a comment, throw a subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.
Call down the reckoning to bring back hope and peace, restore our glory to live forever. Bring down the dark regime. I know how to unleash eternal power.